which television station. We know it's going to be in New York. Let's go back then over the half, because there was an equaliser, which really set the game up nicely for the last 20 minutes or so. But you want to go back 50 seconds before that, Wayne, a crucial moment.
Yeah, I think this is absolutely fantastic from Diamande. I think sometimes this gets lost and you don't see it, you don't recognise it as much. But if you look at the work rate and the pace and the speed he's running back at to win that ball back, and sometimes, as I just said there, it gets lost. But 50 seconds later, you win the ball back, they go on the attack, and then obviously this is incredible skill and composure from Ahmad, and it's a fantastic equaliser. And then you're thinking, right, if they got the momentum back, they get the equaliser goal, can they go on and win it? But just the work rate of a winger running back, doing his job for the team, and you know, you get the reward for that. So I just felt that sometimes that gets lost, and that was great to see.
It was great to see, because we talked about him so much pre-match, and you know, of interest to Liverpool and PSG, who looked like they might have the edge on Liverpool in terms of getting his signature on the line, and he did have a great game today. And that work rate is the kind of thing, isn't it, that if you are going to move into the upper echelons of the top leagues, will be vital.
The big teams, and especially him being mentioned with PSG, because you don't play under Luis Enrique and don't work like that. So that is a box tick in his defense, because of having that desire to want to win the ball, track back, and then win the ball back, and then your team goes on the other end and score. So fantastic from him, and a really great mindset already at such a young age.
And it set the game up then beautifully, didn't it? 20 minutes or so to go, Steph, and it was so open at this point.
Yeah, it was really open, and fair play to both teams, because I think you could easily sat in and try to take it to extra time, but I think we had a sense that one team was going to go and win it in the normal time, and that's what Norway certainly do. And with Ahmad, I think Oscar Bob came on and made a massive difference for Norway. He brought more energy, he brought drive, he brought skill, and that's a fantastic pass to Berg, and it was a fantastic run from deep into midfield, causing a problem for the Ivory Coast defence. And what Wayne picked up in terms of Haaland, his position, he's always there, central of the goal, and a great pull back. And yeah, it might hit off his heel, but it makes a difference, and he got the winner. But I think it was always going to be one chance in it, and Oscar Bob certainly kind of delivered that today.
He just had a slight panic, didn't he, Wayne, when the ball left his foot, that it might have been intercepted by the goalie or a defender there.
Yeah, he did, but I love these types of goals, and you get people who ask questions, why does he always get these goals? Why do, like, tap-ins, why is he getting goals in the middle of the goal? Why does the ball always fall to him? It's just an anticipation and being ready and being alive to the situation.
Well, that was the Oslo fan park, and the winner being gratefully received by those fans. And now we're live there in the Dallas Stadium, where Martin Odegaard has found the drum.
You've took over from the Scotland fans, haven't you? The best fans at the World Cup, it has to be the Norwegians.
It's the theatre of it all, which I absolutely love. You know, finding the drum, Benny, as well, which seemed to be a bit of a problem for them, even though they knew this was going to happen.
Yes.
But insisting and making sure that they do this for their fans.
Oh no, that's amazing. Like you know, you got that togetherness between the players and the fans, and it's incredible to watch.
It makes Wonderwall look not so great now, doesn't it? What I'd like to see here with this is, I would like to see them do it when they score, get in the line and do it. But you think of the World Cup celebrations over the years, and you know, the Brazilian one, rocking the baby.
You want the players doing that?
Yeah, but I think it'd be great to see them do it after they score.
Oh, Wayne, I didn't have that as you as somebody with such kind of choreographed celebrations as that. That's going to be quite
practicing all.
There was obviously a moment at the end as well for Ahmad, Benny, forcing that incredible save from Uyan Nulan, and I think hearts were in mouths at this point.
Especially here in the studio with all of us. But yeah, this little guy, man, he's got so much potent in his legs. To hit it from that range, and the power that it generates, and the accuracy. So that the keeper had to scram and really made an incredible save.
On second viewing, are you more impressed with that save now, Wayne?
No, but what I like about it is he had no ball, and I think when I used to practice free kicks or take free kicks, if a goalkeeper has a wall in, he stands to one side, it makes it easier for me to go over the wall and the keeper's got a bigger distance to cover. Where he had no wall, which allowed him to move his feet and see the ball the whole way, move his feet and make the save. So I really like that.
Should we have a look at some more chances? Because we said, this was a game that was so open, and it actually was Ivory Coast who obviously were chasing, and Pepe, we've talked about how impressive he's been.
He's had an incredible game, and it's such a shame that he did not put his name on the score sheet. But there, you gotta do better than that. Like, it falls, the keeper already reacts, and then you go try and beat him at the near post, where his reaction is to go there, near post, and that's where you have to hit it just where he just came from. If he goes to the opposite side, if he just bends it around, because the keeper is already coming to cover his near post, then you go across from him again. But
I think the defenders done a good job, didn't he? The defenders were trying to cover the far corner, so maybe he's seen that late on and he's adjusted and tried to go near post. So it's a good save, but I think the defenders did well to cover that far corner off as well.
And Ahmad had to do a bit of defending as well, didn't he? Because Hegem had a great chance cleared off the line.
Yeah, he did, and I think in that crucial moment, I think we never really find many players on the line from corners. In this instance, it was Ahmad here. Great chance to score, and I think he couldn't have done anything else there, but Ahmad in the right place at the right time, doing his defensive duties, and this was just after the goal as well, so he kept his team in the game.
And they move on, as we've said, to face Brazil, Norway, that is. A team that has, got its star quality around it, but at the moment it feels like it's playing as a team as opposed to a collection of individuals. How do you see them setting themselves up against what you've seen of Brazil so far in this tournament?
I think for Norway, just to keep doing the same thing. They know they're a threat, they know they can score goals. So I think the big thing against a Brazil team, Brazil are a bit more organised now than what we've seen Brazil in the past. So I think for Norway, keep doing what you're doing and try and create chances and get Haaland opportunities, because that's the biggest opportunity to beat an organised Brazil team.
Yeah.
I would just like to see Norway a bit better organised than they were against Ivory Coast, because Ivory Coast did create so many chances, and if they allow the Brazilian team these opportunities, then they'll be 2-3-0 down already by halftime.
He's just giving the photographers exactly what they want there, Steph, isn't he? Erling Haaland, and really milking the moment here. And, it's Tuesday now, not playing till Sunday. The one thing about this bigger tournament, there's slightly bigger gaps between games, and it does feel like a lot of teams, a lot of players are really able to live a bit more in the moment and, not kind of scooting off at the end of games and really celebrating with fans.
And you have to. I think World Cups come every 4 years. This is Haaland's first ever World Cup, so when you're there and you're part of a tournament, of course you focus on the football, but I think what makes an amazing tournament is just that ability to go and see the city, to go and kind of embrace the culture in the country that you're in. And I think especially them moments when you win big games, historic games, I think just to enjoy it with your fans. They've travelled so far, spent a lot of money, and I think that's what Norway have done really well this tournament. They've embraced it, they've enjoyed every moment, and I feel as though they're taking that into the game, and hopefully they can do that against Brazil on Sunday.
Who they've played 4 times but never lost to.
Yeah, and sometimes history does play a big part in games, and I'm sure the Brazilians will know that, or they'll get to know that. So yeah, I think they've got history on the side in that fixtures. But yeah, listen, I think it's going to be a fascinating game. I think Brazil will go in favourite, so the pressure's on Brazil.
I was going to ask that. Do they kind of set themselves up as the underdog in that game? Do you think?
Yeah, I think they have to really, and Brazil are the favourites to win the game, but I think that will suit Norway. I think the pressure's off them. They've probably achieved what they expected, or more than what they expected now, getting to the stage of the tournament. So the pressure's off them, and with their Erling Haaland, your team, then they've got a chance of beating anyone. That
95th minute winner for Martinelli was the latest that there's ever been in normal time of a knockout stage match in the World Cup since 1966. So they are there by the skin of their teeth in terms of winning in 90 minutes. Used to say they wouldn't have gone on and won in extra time, but it was getting a little bit nervy for them, Brazil.
Yes, no, it was. I think Japan had them pinned down. They didn't give a lot away, so Brazil really had to work exceptionally hard to break them down, because we didn't want it to say this word, like the low block defending, but Japan set really deep and allowed Brazil to go wide and crosses the ball. So yeah, they made it exceptionally difficult, but then wonderful play from Bruno Guimaraes and Martinelli to link up there, and then the finish, it was very difficult because the space that he had in the box was pretty tight, and then to control that like a deft touch and then very quickly finish, so it was amazing.
An interesting matchup. Who's going to come out on top in that one, do you think?
It's a tough one to call, I think. I think Brazil would have got a scare in the game yesterday. I think this is a time where they need to really kick on and hit some form. So I think in terms of World Cup experience, I probably would have to go Brazil.
Yeah, no, I agree. I would like Norway. I've got a nice feeling about Norway, but I think Brazil will go through.
Well, if it's overwhelming, then I'm going with Haaland. Just do the contrary.
He's taken with the Viking spirit there. Okay, as we've mentioned, England